Alex, I think we'll get going, and it's my great pleasure to introduce Yanniv Dolev. Yanniv is joining us from Cody Genetics, a new company, but Yanniv is a very seasoned entrepreneur. He has over 15 years in founding startups, and he was the founder of Mobius Medical in 2008, which culminated in a global exclusive licensing deal with Sun Pharma in 2016. Yanniv is a vet, and what he's going to talk to us about today is something that we talk about very rarely in the world of food production, and that is how we can prevent the destruction of the progeny of animals that happen to be males. We talk a lot about gender in today's world, but one of the great tragedies in food production is that billions of day-old chicks are ground up and slaughtered. Large numbers of dairy cows, if they are unfortunately born as males, as bobby calves, they go straight off to be ground up into dog meat. This is something that we want to try to bring an end to using the science pioneered by Cody Genetics. And it's my great pleasure to hand over to Yanniv Dolev to tell you a little bit more about his company.
Thank you, Simon, and good morning, everybody. As Simon has said, I'm a veterinarian by education. I'm an entrepreneur in the life science arena since 2007. All my enterprises till now were in human medicine, and in Cody, we are bringing the most innovative tools of human medicine into the livestock breeding. I'll share with you the presentation. Gene editing will transform all the way that we are breeding animals. We will be able to produce animals in a more sustainable way, to reduce the waste, to increase the environment, reduce the environment contamination, etc. Cody, the first trait that Cody will develop is the sex biasing trait. We will create breeders that can ejaculate sex semen. That means will predetermine what will be the sex of the offspring. And by that, we are answering a huge unmet need in the livestock breeding, where breeders have offspring of the sex that they do not need. Therefore, they have to cull it or to sell it for less price, etc. Or even in swine, we will be able to eliminate the procedure of castrating day-old piglets without anesthesia, something that will become in the European community prohibited starting next year. So we are a B2B company. We provide service to the breeding companies, and we are becoming partners in the most valuable animals of the industry. We have already stressed the unmet need where billions, something like 7 billion day-old male chicks are being culled right now. They are produced, unnecessarily produced, and they are being culled. This is the mechanical sorter. This is the way that the bovine industry is right now influencing on the sex of the offspring. This machine is sorting the semen in a very expensive way. The product of the machine is a semen, in a low quality semen, and it is applicable just in bovine. What we are offering is to edit the embryo. From this embryo, we will have animals that all their sperm, breeders, that all their sperm contains a female gametes or male gametes, as we predetermined when we edited the embryo. So by that, we are eliminating the need of the sorting, the mechanical sorting. We increase dramatically the quantity of straws obtained from this breeder. By that, we are increasing dramatically the efficiency of the breeding. We eliminate the current production cost of $5 to $10 of each straws. And I would like to stress that all the offspring from those breeders do not carry any gene edits or foreign DNA. That means that in the European community, as we understand the regulation right now, they shouldn't even be regulated, the offspring. How do we help the breeding industry? This is the cost calculation of the current sorting machine. We can increase the earning of the breeding company from $200,000 to $300,000 from bull in its lifetime to $2.5 million as we increase the yield of sperm by 5 to 10 times and we reduce the cost. On top of that, we can earn between $800,000 to $900,000 from each bull without any direct cost of goods. How the market for sex semen is evolving, you can see this slide of Genus, one of the competitors, one of the companies that is producing the mechanical sorter. And this slide is stating the increase of their sales all over the world for their sex product. In addition, you can see this piece of paper from Australia, where the largest Australian breeding company is stating that in the near future, 50% of their sales will be sexed semen. And why? The sex semen is answering the unmet need of the breeding industry. The added value market of the sexing of the semen is estimated in $1.4 billion from each of the sectors. The technology is coming from Tel Aviv University. The scientists have published in a peer-reviewed journal the results of the first generation of the technology, and the editorial decided to highlight the article as an exceptional science. So who are our partners? The technology is coming from the Tel Aviv University. Roslyn Technologies, the home of Dolly the sheep, reviewed the technology that is coming from the Tel Aviv University and decided to invest in the venture. Moreover, Roslyn is the best place in the world to edit livestock. That means it is dramatically reducing the execution risk. Two future clients, Viking Genetics, one of the largest European breeding company, and Sion, the Israeli leading breeding company, decided to participate in the venture. They understand both, they validate both the unmet need and the business model. In addition, the UK Innovation and Science Seed Fund decided to invest, and therefore we are going to incorporate the company probably in Scotland. So this is our vision to the future. We will have laboratories in the main breeding center all over the world in order to serve the breeding industry. I would like to stress that that sex sorting is very valuable from economical point of view, but this is just one platform to edit additional traits. Thank you. I will be happy to take your questions.
Please feel free to post questions into the chat or Q&A function on the bottoms of your screen. Yanniv, that's absolutely fascinating. Would you be able to tell us a little bit about the implication for the value of the animals following this sort of gene editing technology? How does this increase the value, for example, of a bull?
Okay. Right now, a bull is ejaculating the equivalent of 300 straws. The sperm can divide it or is packed into 300 straws. A straw is a thin syringe that is being used for the IVF. When sorting, when using this machine, the yield is becoming 20 to 40, the most 60 straws of low quality sperm. If we edit the bull, the embryo, and receive a bull, so therefore we can receive 300 of sex sperm straws. So the yield is increasing dramatically and the quality is increasing dramatically. Therefore, we need less bulls. We can use the sperm of the best bulls over much more cows. Therefore, the work of the breeding companies is becoming much easier, and we eliminate the current production cost of $5 to $7 per straw. Therefore, we make the breeding companies much more efficient. We make them to earn $2.5 million instead of a few $100,000 from a bull.
Yaniv, one question that's come up. Is this actually unique technology to Cody Genetics, and have you been able to protect this IP? Thank
you. We applied a provisional patent protecting the gene that we are editing. Other companies cannot edit those genes in the way that we do that. And therefore, we are the only ones that can work using those genes. And in addition, we have some know-how because other companies cannot edit, do not show yet now that they can edit the Y chromosome, which is a shorter, and this is a unique know-how of the company.
Thank you, Yaniv. You mentioned that you've already received some commitments from investors in this current round of funding. Obviously, through our partnership with Roslin, where we're founding investors, we have already an interest in Cody. And Milltrust Ag Biogenesis Fund will be making a further investment into Cody Genetics in this round. How much money are you raising? What is the value of the company today?
Okay, so right now we have commitments from the 5 institutions that we have mentioned at about $1.9 million, and we are looking for additional $1.6 million in order to close the round. And thank you for your willing to invest in the company, Simon.
That's excellent, Yaniv. Thank you very much. That was really fascinating. I think
Can I stress one last point that I believe that is very important?
Yes, please.
Right now, the FDA already have approved 2 traits for in livestock breeding. One of them was the FDA have approved a gene-edited swine meat for human consumption, and just a few weeks ago, the FDA already have approved a bovine meat for human consumption. Therefore, we are much beyond the question already if the regulatory authorities will approve gene-edited meat for human consumption. Thank you, Simon, for this marvelous conference and having me.
Thank you very much indeed.